Hey there. So, this video is gonna be a video of my top five anime series of all time. And if you see my room tour, my room video, couple weeks ago, almost a month ago, I would say, or 2 months ago, some of them will be obvious, and so if you haven't seen that video, I do recommend checking it out after this video to see like my top five anime series and how I have it in my room and such. But if if you already seen it, the video, my room video, yeah, some of them were like obvious, but yeah, sorry about I just can't help but talk like that. Anyway, so I'm gonna have the video. We have a video with the commentary and one video without the commentary, just music. I'm gonna link both in the description. So yeah, so that's the introduction. So let's start with number five. So number five is an anime called Sekirei. Sekirei is an anime like fan service, edgy harem anime with action and a comedy. So this is like a DVD, but not the legit. It's kind of like from like a bootleg. I don't want to say bootleg, but something like that. But it's good quality and such. But yeah, I do have the manga, or the English manga. Is not. I don't have them all because I only ordered about half of them, and the rest of them are like extremely expensive. There's certain volume that right now I think it's volume 5. That's like over $100 and so yeah, the English manga, I don't have it completed, but I do have the Japanese manga, and the Japanese manga is way cheaper. I have like the full set in Japanese, so the one that I have English is like part of them, not part, but like some volumes. Mostly the later half where the anime costs off, and then I have this one which is like full. So yeah, I do have the manga, and the manga to want to mention is that the Sekirei is the first manga that I actually read from the beginning to the end. So at the time, like those years ago, like 2010, or probably 2010 or 2011 or something like that. Probably a little bit afterwards, because I remember I was reading the manga, caught up to it. Then I was reading like I would say monthly for the newest chapter, and it took a while for like few years before they finished or the manga completed. So Sekirei is one of the mangas, one of the earliest, and probably the first one if I remember correctly. Because at the time I was into mangas, but because Sekirei was an anime that I was really fascinated with. Because I like the comedy, I like the action, and the fan service. I don't mind fan service, but yeah. Sorry, I'm not gonna be talking much about the anime itself. I'm gonna have some clips on the video. You've already seen it as I go through this, so you can see how it is. And yeah, Sekirei was one of the. I wasn't the earliest, or probably the first manga I read throughout the whole series. So yeah, Sekirei is my number 5. Okay, number 4 is an anime called Citrus, or the Citrus Plus, and Citrus. So I have the first volume, have the complete volume of Citrus number 1. Not number 1. The first regular Citrus manga, and then I right now have it up to the current Citrus Plus. If you can see the plus sign right there, and then also have the DVD, the official DVD from Funimation of Citrus. So Citrus is one of the anime that's like about district characters. They're like how they fall in love with each other. So this is like a GL anime, like a girl love anime. Not really Yuri, I guess I'm not sure if Yuri is the proper word for it or not, but I know it's girl love anime. But yeah, Citrus is one of the Sorry. Citrus is the first anime that I seen that was a girl love anime. And after I watched Citrus, I was more fascinated in the type of topics about same relationship, same gender relationship. So after Citrus, I watched the anime called Love Stage about two guys, and then afterwards I watched the anime Bloom Into You and so on. So right now I'm currently watching two new anime, which are one is BL and one GL. But yeah, but it was all started because of Citrus, and some reason Citrus like really fascinated me that I went and bought the whole manga. The good thing is right now the manga are not that expensive because they're still like brand new. And Citrus was an anime I was watching it when it was airing at the time. So yeah, Citrus is a GL anime or girl love anime, Yuri anime, whatever. Between these two girls, and yeah. So Citrus was my gateway to the other animes, like I mentioned. And so I'm not really into that, but I don't mind the topic. It's kind of fascinating about like forbidden, taboo, whatever topics. So yeah, I'm really into romance anime lately. So yeah. Anyway, so that's number 5. Number 5. That's number 4. Okay, number 3 is an anime which is not the whole series, but a specific season is series, which is Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Or this Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the movie Bonds Beyond Time, the DVD, the official. But yeah, not GX, not Duel Monster, but 5Ds. Is one of my top 3 favorite anime series of all time. I don't have nothing else besides the DVD, this DVD, and the full manga of 5Ds, the manga counterpart of 5Ds of the anime. And sorry if I keep messing up. It's just my habit. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is a anime that when I was watching it, let me start over. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one anime, like the Duel Monster with Pegasus, Yugi, Joy, the Duelist Kingdom. That anime was an anime I was watching as a kid on I think it was Kid WP, where the same channel with Pokemon and such. So I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Got some into the card games, I was not into the card game, I was just collecting some cards also as like a kid. It was until 2010 or so. That was like around the time Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds was airing. I went to my first official Yu-Gi-Oh! Local tournament, and I did bad. That's so bad that I got last place. But the thing is, that was my gateway to going to my locals and collecting more Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Then as time passed on, I went and collect more Yu-Gi-Oh! Card decks, or make more Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, but all of them were all focused on characters from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds like Akisa, Kuro, the twins, Jack, Yusei. I built a deck focused on each individual and then other characters from the cast of the anime or manga. And yeah, and not only that, I love this series so much that I have another channel called Emo Extatora, which I think I'm renaming it to Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan 28, similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Not Yu-Gi-Oh! IkkiTousen Fan 28. So yeah, I'll put the link of my other channel in the description as well. In that channel, I do deck profile on, again, like decks based on Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's character. And I do upload AMVs, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's AMV on that. I haven't been active for a while, but usually I upload once a month. I did go back and re-upload. It's just that I've been busy. Or mostly sick. I've been sick. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D specifically is my favorite anime because it has more nostalgia. Even though I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monster, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds was my gateway to my locals. And yeah. And I love the character, I love the story. And yeah. So Yu-Gi-Oh! 5 5 ds is my number 3. Okay, number 2 is an anime which is not the whole series, but it's a specific season is Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is a anime that was airing on Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan 28, similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan 28. So yeah, and I love the character, I love the story. And yeah. So Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is my number 3. Okay, so we're almost in the last two, and I think it's obvious which is number one, but number two is an anime called Digimon. So like not like Yu-Gi-Oh, where Yu-Gi-Oh is more specific. Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds. Digimon is an anime that also grew up with like the original, which is Avenger, like this character, this cast, but also end up watching the rest of the series or later season, like Tamers, Frontier, Ghost Game, which is the most recent one. Yeah, I grew up with Digimon, and I stick to Digimon throughout the whole years. And yeah, so this is not just the specific adventure series, which is with this cast. Even though these are my favorite series or season, which are the original O2, Try, and Last Evolution in the movie, some movies mostly. I do also love the rest of the series, like Tamers and Ghost Game. I especially love Ghost Game because I was into horror movies, and Ghost Game has this horror fight to it or feel to it. So I do have the season in like parts, like the volume two and such, and also as I grew up, like I said, I grew up with Digimon, so I had like the VHS. If I could show this, eh, sorry, it's too big, but yeah, I had the VHS of Digimon. Yeah. It's like even though I don't have a VHS player or VCR, it's still like part of my collection and always will be because, like I said, I grew up with this. I fell in love with that movie, the English dub mostly because when I watched the Japanese dub or like the three Japanese, it just didn't feel the same. I think because I grew up with the English, so yeah. And also one thing I wanted to share is that I also have this book. There's nothing special, it's just like old school book about the card game. With the cards. And like some things and yeah, like the cards. I do also I don't have it with me right now. It's still like in my cabinet. But I do have mostly all these not Yu-Gi-Oh! But Digimon cards, like old school Digimon cards like these. I mostly have all these and such. Sorry, the book is sitting in the camera. Yeah. I do have mostly all the cards, like from, not like, mostly the other ones are like easy accessible, like, and a little bit, and a few that's a little bit hard to get, like a Metagreymon, not Metagreymon, Metagarurumon and Walgreymon, the old school cards. I do have those, but some other ones I don't have are like the one that's, let's say, Rosemon and such. But yeah, Digimon is my number two favorite anime because I grew up with it, and not only that, even though, like I said, I love Ghost Game a lot, Digimon Avenger is the one is like my number one series because I grew up with the Avenger, the first season. So the first one I grew up with watching it on TV. Then I watched O2 and I remember having the toys of them. Which, let me go get one. Sorry. Yeah. I just wanted to go get one. So I have this toy. This is one of the only one that I have right now that like from my childhood. And yeah, it's Magnamon. This guy. It's kind of old, so you see the paint like changing. So yeah, I grew up with this one Avenger on one, and I love that series the most because as I grew up, the characters also grew up. Like I said previous, there's a Digimon 02, then like in teens and Digimon 3, and then like adults in Digimon Adventure the Digimon Last Evolution Kizuna. So as I grew up, the characters also grew up along with me. So yeah, so that way this one is like one of my number two favorite anime of all time. So yeah. So next one. Okay, so number one. If it's not obvious, especially based on this channel, and if you're not familiar with my channel and just seeing this the first time, then my number one will be IkkiTousen. I do own the complete series and season 1 to 4 in English from the official dub from Funimation and such, and some other ones not Funimation but like the others website as well. So this season 3, season 4, season 1, and season 2. So this one, not this one, my bad. IkkiTousen. IkkiTousen is a fan service action anime similar to Sakurai, but it's an anime that some reason really fascinated me as a teen. I think it was not teen. I was like 17 or 18 when I first saw the first season, and I was watching the first season multiple times, not knowing that there was a second season. And because the thing is, I was watching the first season on YouTube. Because on YouTube there was at the old times there was some anime, and they had anime on the on YouTube channels, not YouTube channel on YouTube, before the whole copyrighted stuff happened. And yeah, so after that I watched the second season, then I watched the rest of the series in Japanese. Actually, they got the title, was no English dub for mostly season 3 and 4. But now, I watched the season. I seen the anime on Western Wolf and the search, like the OVAs as well. So also for the manga wise, I own the English manga of volume 1 to 15. I think 1 to 15. Like English, not only that, not only I have one set, I have two set mostly. So I have two set of the English manga. And because the manga stopped I would say it stopped somewhere in the story of the Red Cliff. So because of that, I had no choice but buy Japanese manga. Sorry about the chick. So this is Japanese manga of Is this IkkiTousen? I think this is IkkiTousen. I think this is IkkiTousen. Volume 2. Because the English manga cut off like somewhere at the part of the story. The remaining mangas were published in Japanese, so I went and bought the rest of the English set of this manga in Japanese. So I have the set of like where Himiko started to show up in Japanese, and of course you can see here I have the Shin IkkiTousen manga in Japanese as well. I cannot read Japanese or don't understand it. But the only good thing about the right now is that most of it was adapted in the anime. So yeah, hold on. Sorry, I need to drink some water. My throat was getting dry. Yeah, the manga. Also the English manga translation was called Battle Fiction, but yeah. So the reason I got into IkkiTousen was mostly because, not sure why, but it was like anime that became so obsessed, and then later on became like a whole passion of mine. So where I was started collecting so like posters, figures, and every year I was collecting new figures, whether it were 2 or 3, or sometimes 5 figure a year. But now I just collect one figure a year. I got one this year and one last year. And also have a playlist on that in my channel, my figures collection. And you can also see those figures in my room tour video, which I recommend checking out if you haven't seen it. It's just, and you can see in my home room tour, my whole room is like decorated with IkkiTousen. This channel was dedicated to IkkiTousen. I have like a huge passion, I guess obsession, but it's not negative because I used my obsession as a creative way to express myself with the AMVs I have. And yeah, IkkiTousen was my gateway to YouTube video making mostly. IkkiTousen was the first AMVs I made earlier. I made other AMVs later on. Like I made one sacred AMV, which is on my other. I think that's on one of my channels. I have multiple channels, but only two I focus on, which is this one and Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's channel. And of course, like I previous mentioned, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's has more AMVs on it, but of course focused on that anime. So yeah, IkkiTousen. I grew up in my teens until my adulthood, and then became my whole creative passion, and the AMVs and such. And my whole room tour is my whole room is now like dedicated to IkkiTousen. And yeah, sorry about that again. Just one more thing before I know I've been talking about IkkiTousen way more than the other ones. Yu-Gi-Oh! Not Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, sorry I keep getting the name mixed. It's because I have the other anime on my top of mind as well. So, IkkiTousen, the first season, like I said, it was the first season I was watching multiple times. Even though it's probably the worst season because of the animation, IkkiTousen, the first season, is the season that I watched the most. Even after I watched the rest of the series, there are times I go back and rewatching the first season. Something about the first season, I guess because, like I said, I've seen it multiple times before. Have like this huge, strong nostalgia for the first season. So first season is my favorite season of all. But besides that, I love season 3 mostly because of this character and Ryafu. These two characters are like one of my top favorite characters in the series. So yeah, so IkkiTousen third season is like one of the top. So yeah, let's see if I can get anything more on the screen. So there's. Hold on. So yeah, these are my top 5 favorite anime of all time. Mostly because I have like a strong, huge attachment to them because they're whether my gateway to my manga or gateway to my card games or stuff like that, to PL, GL, or my gateway to my Yu-Gi-Oh! My Yu-Gi-Oh! And my IkkiTousen channels where I create content on. They're also based on my childhood and my strong attachment as my nostalgia and stuff like that. And then other stuff like, I don't know, some strong feeling I have for them all, this 5 top anime. And I think this top 5 anime is all gonna be my top 5 forever. Because even though I've seen like over 100 anime, even including like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Z. Even though Dragon Ball Z is close, probably is up there, like probably up there in the 10, but sadly it's not there. But Dragon Ball Z is one anime reason I got into IkkiTousen because of similarities. Not some similarities, but not completely, but there's some similarities. So yeah, and I've seen other anime, like I said, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Code Geass, Death Note. I grew up in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s. So I've seen a good amount of anime. And yeah. And throughout the years, the only one that's kinda new is Citrus. So yeah, Citrus is the only newest one, the most recent one, and that was winter 2018 or winter 2019 or something like that. One of those years. Like it was a couple years ago now. Like 6 years, probably. So yeah. This is always gonna be my top 5. The reason I did top 5 instead of top 10 is because my other rest of my list will be like out of order. Not out of order, it's all changing. So let's say number 10 will be Eat Bleach one day, but then probably the next week number 10 will be probably like something like Gurren Lagann or something like that. Because I also have the DVD for Gurren Lagann and I just remember that series just now. And sometimes some other anime will be in my top 10. Then next week will be out on my top 10. So sometimes they end, sometimes they're out. It depends on my mood. But these 5, Digimon. Oh wait, something's not. Oh my bad. I just realized something. Secret. I have to have it. Hold on. Sorry. I just realized that Secret wasn't let's try to fix this. Try to get off eye in the screen. So I feel bad now because I completely forgot about Secret. I did not notice that two Digimon, the figure and then or the toy and the what was it? The DVD. Yeah, it was a DVD. So I forgot Secret. Doesn't mean this doesn't mean that I don't care about Secret. I still love Secret the most, but it's probably in the top 5. While Citrus top 4, and then top 3 is Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, specifically 5Ds. Then Digimon number 2, the whole series, but I really love Ghost Game and especially the whole Adventure series. And number 1 is IkkiTousen. So yeah, this hope this video isn't too long because I'm doing the parts by parts, like each section of top 1, each top or each number I'm doing a category. Each number or category I'm doing it in parts. So this is my final part of the recording. I hope this isn't like over 20 to 30 minutes long. If it is, then I'm sorry. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this. I know I didn't went through the whole detail about the anime, but that would be like very long. And yeah, I just want to go through why I love them. Whether, like I said, gateway to BLGL, my gateway to manga, gateway to Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournaments, Digimon my childhood, and IkkiTousen my gateway to YouTube. So yeah, that's mostly it. And before I continue rambling, thank you for watching once again. And again, I have the room tour video in my description. Probably put in my description my other channel, which is my Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Till next time, bye.